Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where we review anything and everything. And today we are getting into another Marvel Legends review. This is Marvel's Cable. That's how they say it, but obviously you guys know that it's Cable from the X-Men. I guess for copyright reasons, they got to put Marvel's Cable in front of it, even though it says Marvel above it. Technically, you're getting Marvel's Cable. But anyway, this is going to be a non-unboxing review because I actually want to maintain the figure in his case because I am collecting. And sometimes when the figures come in either damaged cases or sometimes cases in which you can't see through the plastic or the container, they don't have a clear plastic, then I will sometimes go about opening them. In future videos, if I decide to open this, I will do a re-review on them. But in the meantime, this is a look at the new Cable. He actually just launched, and he seems to be based off, a lot of people mention this, he seems to be based off the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 series video game. I don't know if in the comics he's ever really had this kind of look. I remember the old traditional look that he used to have, and then certain other modified looks. But I never was, we'll say, into the comics or known of the comics during the time frame that he may have had this look going on. This is definitely not traditional Cable look. The box is a little dusty, but in the inside, but you see he's got two guns. He's got, and it's funny because these guns actually look a lot like Nerf guns, if you're familiar with certain particular Nerf guns. Um, but he's got two sets of hands. These are look to be trigger hands to hold the guns. This is an open hand, even though it's not a trigger hand. And then this right here is obviously a fisted hand. Surprising that it doesn't come with one more fisted hand, but it is what it is. One thing I'm going to, well, I'll get to those thoughts in a moment about the figure in general. Let's go over the box real quick. I'll hit on those in a moment. So here you got some of the box art here with his Cable, with Cable's psychic eye, displaying some of its psychic energy. Got some text up here and the full image here, which you have the partial image on the side. He's coming from the Build-A-Wave of Zabu, which we already reviewed one character from this line that I was interested in. I'm not really interested in any of the other characters, but this is the Black Winter that we reviewed already. He's in his Thor form. And Kazar is, I think I was butchering that last time I said it. I think I said Kazar. Kazar is, you kind of really need him if you want to. Well, obviously, if you got to have all of these to go along with him. But if you wanted him, you really want to kind of complete the set because that was always his sidekick or right hand animal, if you want to say. But the box art looks really nice with Cable, and what it says back here: Cable travels back through time from a dystopian future to help the X-Men as an enhanced telekinetic mutant. So everyone's already familiar with Cable in terms of the X-Men animated series. And as the time of this video, they recently released the X-Men 97 animated series, which is, you could say, a continuation of the old X-Men animated series, which ended in 97. I believe it started in 92. You have more of the same box art on the side. Now, my thoughts when it comes to this figure here, and I'm going to sit down here, is his costume worked great for your generic X-Men colored costume, which is obviously what it's kind of hinting at in general. So that's the purpose of it. Obviously, a lot of people make it a callback to the Capcom versus the Marvel vs. Capcom game. But at the same time, in general, this is a perfect match for if you want him to blend with your typical X-Men who have their typical suits. Now, obviously, the X-Men roster, especially when you look at the lineup of, say, X-Men the animated cartoon, both series, the original and the 97, you know that most of the characters are wearing whatever they want to wear. Gambit's wearing whatever he wants to wear. Storm's wearing something that's different with not the traditional colors. Wolverine sometimes has the traditional colors. You know, everyone's all over the place with what they're wearing. If you wanted to pick up the X-Men 275 wave, which I did on the channel previously, I reviewed on the channel, and that consisted of 2 box sets and an individual Wolverine. Those have that kind of traditional X-Men color schemes going on. Obviously, they don't have Cyclops in the mix. With that, you can always buy yourself an external Cyclops in some way, though that currently right now it's not an affordable version other than the X-Men 97 wave one, which has a very cartoony face. So that's the only issue with that. Otherwise, I would have picked that up, but it doesn't really go well with the comic line of figures. But my point that I was getting at is that if you got that setup like the X-Men 275, which is based off the issue 275 wave, this would go very well with that if you just want to display a nice set of X-Men with, Cable having that more traditional colors. It goes well with that. And I think that that's pretty cool that, you have this as an option for Cable to feel like he's in the X-Men suit. Whereas other versions of Cable in the past, I don't know how many different versions there were, but I know there was the old school one where he first started off in X-Force, that rugged look, future warrior type of look with all these pads on him and everything like that really doesn't go hand in hand with any team, even though, as I mentioned before, X-Men traditionally has their own costumes. It doesn't always have a team uniform going on, though sometimes they do. One thing I also want to say too is the face is very nice and detailed and gritty. And so it definitely goes well with the very detailed faces of the X-Men 275 series, of the 2 box waves, and especially that Wolverine that has a very lifelike, kind of face going on. So I think his face fits very well with that, with a little 5 o'clock shadow going around and a lot of good detail, even within the hair. So with that being said, you guys, I'm not going to drag this on any longer. I think it's a great figure. I think he's definitely worth buying, especially if you don't have Cable, because I definitely believe that Cable is a very rare figure in the Marvel Legends series. So this is a chance for anyone to kind of pick up Cable now while they still have a chance. Often some of these really hot characters end up selling very quick and end up being sold out. So if you're able to get yourself one, jump on it as soon as you can. Link's going to be in the description down below for you to purchase on Amazon. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.